questions, and I've got the answers. Do you realize that almost everything you do can impact your financial lifestyle? From how you pay for your dinner to how you finance your home, everything is important. Tune in each and every Wednesday from 9 to 10 a.m. and let's make your money work hard for you on the TAN Talk Radio Network.
This is the radio program Spectrum 360. This is Mark Skogman
and TK Weeks,
host of Spectrum 360 on the 6 stations of the TAN Talk Radio Network. Spectrum 360 is a talk radio program that features politics, the arts, and popular culture from a progressive point of view. Spectrum 360 broadcasts for 1 hour weekly on Monday nights at 11 p.m. Eastern Time and anytime webcast at spectrum360media.com. Remember, Spectrum 360, news, politics, and arts from a creative and progressive point of view.
Hey, you new to the area or just want to know about the best hidden gems and upcoming events? Stay tuned. Be Local Buzz with Devin takes you to these places, introduces you to the best businesses, and tells you about upcoming buzz. Preset your radio to TAN Talk 1340 AM or 106.1 FM every Thursday from 4 to 5. That is the Be Local Buzz with Devin on TAN Talk 1340 AM and 106 FM every Thursday from 4 to 5. Looking forward to speaking with you.
This is the TAN Talk Radio Network.
It's time for the Kelly Show. Kelly is an award-winning photographer and the owner of the website iloveclearwater.com. Doug is the author of 4 published books and a contributing editor for Florida Sportsman magazine. And now, here they are.
Hi, it's just me today, Kelly, and I hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining us. And in addition to broadcasting in 4 counties, we are live on Facebook at the Kelly Show page and on YouTube at TAN Talk Radio Network. And we're also podcast at internetradiopros.com. Before we get to our exciting guest today, we're going to have an ad break. But first, here's a trivia question. What percentage of Pinellas County's homeless population is estimated to be unsheltered, living in cars, streets, or abandoned buildings? The answer right after this.
This is the TAN Talk Radio Network.
In 1955, the law firm now known as Pernick, Caulfield, Averill, and Noyes made a decision. Instead of taking whatever cases came through their doors, they decided to focus specifically on personal injury. 64 years later, the law firm is one of Clearwater's longest-running personal injury firms. Available 24 hours a day with offices in Clearwater and throughout Tampa Bay, they're ready to put decades of experience to work for you if you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or injured due to someone's negligence or recklessness. If you feel overwhelmed, uncertain, or unsure about your next steps after being involved in an accident or after a loved one sustained serious injuries due to someone else's negligence, call Pernick, Caulfield, Averill, and Noyes at 727-796-8282 or online at usalaw.com. That's 727-796-8282 or online at usalaw.com. Not attorney spokesman.
Shop the largest selection of Guy Harvey apparel, artwork, and gift items at GuyHarvey.com. From the world-renowned marine wildlife artist, the Guy Harvey online shop features the latest in performance apparel, classic Guy Harvey t-shirts, decor for every room in your home, exquisite ocean-inspired jewelry, and unique gift items, including custom merchandise not available anyplace else. Browse an extensive catalog of original Guy Harvey works of art and a full range of beautiful reproductions. As with all Guy Harvey merchandise, a percentage of sales benefits the ocean conservation, research, and education work of the Guy Harvey Ocean Foundation. The Guy Harvey Ocean Foundation will help ensure that future generations can enjoy and benefit from a well-balanced ocean ecosystem. Bring the undersea world into your everyday life at GuyHarvey.com.
Just about everyone is fascinated by the mafia. Books and movies like The Godfather, Goodfellas, Casino, and many others became bestsellers and box office hits. Did you know that a century ago, mobsters like Al Capone discovered Florida's tropical climate and sparse law enforcement? Mafia bosses from around the nation began setting up illegal operations in Florida. Now, for the first time, a new book titled Sunshine State Mafia, A History of Florida's Mobsters, Hitmen, and Wise Guys provides vivid stories and never-before-seen images of dangerous criminals who settled in Florida full or part-time. Written by renowned author Doug Kelly, Sunshine State Mafia exposes the hidden history of the mob throughout the state and includes Doug's own brushes with crime figures. Sunshine State Mafia is available at all major book retailers, or obtain a signed copy by calling 727-724-4949 or email sunshinestatemafia@gmail.com.
What do the most successful companies have in common? They leverage growth by forming valuable relationships and partnerships. Amplify Clearwater puts you in touch with accomplished business and community leaders that inspires networking and helps you navigate the best courses of action for your company. Become a member and instantly acquire a powerful edge over your competitors by forming strong connections with top business leaders and elected officials. Amplify Clearwater. One community, one chamber, one vision. Contact us at amplifyclearwater.com or call 727-461-0011. That's amplifyclearwater.com. 727-461-0011.
Discover Clearwater like never before with iloveclearwater.com. Whether you're a resident or a visitor, our website is your go-to source for all things Clearwater. Find the best hotels, restaurants, parks, shopping, and events all in one place. Dive into our engaging photos and videos. Explore over 500 informative articles. Visit iloveclearwater.com today and experience the best of Clearwater. iloveclearwater.com, your ultimate guide to Clearwater for fun, sun, and smiles.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Thanks for listening to the Kelly Show. I'm Kelly Kelly, and I am very apologetic because I was remiss and did not introduce Ed Davis, Big Ed Davis, and he is the executive producer of the Tan Talk Radio Network. So, Ed, how's it going?
I'm easily misplaced once in a while.
No. That was my fault. So, anything going on in the sports world we should know?
I was wondering how Doug was when Miami played Florida.
Oh, he liked that.
Yeah, I bet he did.
Yeah, he did. So, were you happy?
I really didn't care either way, but I knew he would be happy.
Yeah, for sure. So what else is going on in the sports?
Bucks had a decisive win yesterday against a really crappy team.
You want to care to mention who that was? Or no?
They played the Washington Commanders.
I see.
Can't say Redskins. I mean, Washington Redskins.
Okay.
So they played them 37-21, something like that.
Oh, okay.
And then the Rays actually took 2 out of 3 on the weekend, so it wasn't a bad weekend.
Sounds
good.
I
wanted to get his, and I know he's listening. I wanted to get his opinion because I see it more and more these days in all sports. Why does a man pick the number 0 to wear on his jersey? I don't understand.
Is this a joke or
no?
Is this, it's an actual question.
Seriously.
Because
there are players
you're
that
0,
wear
right?
0. First of all, it's not even a number.
Yeah.
It doesn't instill confidence, and that 0 is something your ex-wife gives you. You know,
it's true. It's not like
you're
being
a
number
0.
1 or anything.
Right? Yeah.
Okay. Well, maybe Doug Kelly can call in and give his opinion.
Well, he give his opinion. You can tell us next week. Either or.
Okay.
Anyway,
that's good. So, yes, that was Big Ed Davis. He's the executive producer, as I said. And before the break, I had a trivia question, but I got schooled by our guest, and this is important. My question was, what percentage of Pinellas County's homeless population is estimated to be unsheltered, living in cars, streets, or abandoned buildings? And the answer I found, it may not be correct, was 50%, but I want to defer to the expert, our guest today, Stephen Cleveland. He's the executive director of the Florida Dream Center, which is a 501c3 faith-based nonprofit organization that takes resources and aid into at-risk communities. So, Stephen, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me today. It's a pleasure to be back here.
Yes, for sure. I mean, it's been a number of years, and you thought it might be 3. I thought it might be a little longer. But tell me what you just educated me about.
Well, I don't want to say I was schooling you, but I get schooled at the office because we're being politically correct on what you say sometimes makes a big difference.
It absolutely does.
So we don't use the word homeless anymore. It's unhomed.
Interesting.
And so the last numbers I saw were in the mid 30s.
Okay.
That are living in their cars and couch surfing.
Wow.
But then some are living in motels.
Okay.
But that's still unhomed because you're
living in a motel. It is unhomed. Yes. And streets. And of course, then I read that Clearwater has a large unhomed population. St. Pete does too.
Yeah. Lilman, we serve about 150 homeless a day. They come and get food and clothing and hygiene supplies. Then once a week, we give out a big food box. And so, but we have to be very careful because, the unhomed, they can't cook.
Right.
So they have to have Pop Tops, ready to eat stuff from what we get. Wawa sandwiches, we get Subway, we get all kind of stuff from Walmart and Publix, which we can put in little bags for them that they get every day.
Okay, somebody has to do that. So you need volunteers?
Volunteers do it. We're a volunteer-based organization. We have a lot of employees, but it takes a lot of volunteers.
Okay. How many employees do you have and where are you located?
Okay. We're located in Lilman, Florida, which is 4017 56th Avenue North in Pinellas County, unincorporated. We're in the old Lilman Fire Station.
Okay.
And we serve every Saturday. We serve over 350 families with food boxes.
Wow!
They average about 48 pounds a box.
Okay.
Of food.
Okay.
And they get one box a week, one box a month, but they can come and ask for an emergency box one time.
Okay.
And that box is not available until after 10:30 because we have to serve the other people first.
Absolutely. Okay. So you have how many regular employees?
You got me thinking here. I'm counting.
Okay. I'm sorry to put you on the spot.
It's okay. It's about 20.
Okay. And is that mostly like office work or do you?
So we have 4 truck drivers. We have a food bank manager. We have our training group that trains and an advocacy group that works with them to help them with their food stamps or Florida ID card or find out if they get taxes coming, tax money is owed to them that they've never filed and they didn't know. We help them. We recommend them and help them find shelter if they need it. We have a workforce training program, which has 1, 2, 3. There's 4 of us in that program that we teach carpentry. We teach forklift operating, which we are a certified training facility, registered through NCCER, which is a national registered organization out of Alachua County, which is part of that UF group up in Gainesville.
Okay.
Because I went to the FSU group down the street. But I had to go back and get my degree, get my training degree from them. And that's okay. My wife's a Gator.
Yeah. Good thing Doug's not here, right, Dad? Yeah.
Actually, you have a phone call right now. No, I'm serious. You have a phone call.
Okay. Well, let's pause that and let's patch it in our caller.
There you go.
Well, I heard the conversation about zero, and it's the starting point of the numeric system. And 2 of the zeros equals my IQ. For instance, 100. My income per day is 10. And the average Gator fan has no, I won't say that.
Okay.
I know your guest is a Gator, and the Gators are wonderful opponents that the Hurricanes like to beat up on once in a while.
Yes, and how did you like that game?
Well, I was
Were you happy?
disappointed it wasn't a greater. I thought it would be a bigger upset than that.
I see.
So I thought a lot of people figured the Gators were going to win since it was in the swamp. But as it turns out, the Hurricanes are just too mighty. They're just too mighty.
But
Anyway,
when you say zero is the start of the counting system, how many people count to 10? Go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4.
well, it's just like when you have a tape measure, it's got to start somewhere to get to 1.
That's true.
So you might not have the figure 0 there, but you got to have a starting point.
Okay. Well,
So,
thank you for
Okay.
listening, Doug. I'm glad we have one listener.
my pleasure. You've got at least one listener. Maybe another. You'd add a 0. Maybe you have 10 listeners.
That's right.
Yeah, we went from 0 to 1. There you go.
All right.
Okay.
Take care, y'all.
Okay. So we're gonna. I appreciate that call. We don't normally take calls on the Kelly Show because of, I don't know, how would you phrase that, Ed? Why?
Oh, there's so much information to give out first.
Okay. Okay. Well, we don't really have a pause button, so if somebody were to blurt out something, couldn't stop it, right? Okay. All right. Anyway, we're going to get back to our conversation with Stephen Cleveland. He's the executive director of the Florida Dream Center. And we were talking about your workforce and your training program.
Yes.
Carpentry, forklift.
Yes.
And what else?
And we're trying to start a welding class right now.
Oh, nice.
We received a grant to help pay for that.
That pays very well.
Welding pays great. Carpentry pays well. We've got several people that have chosen. They took the carpentry class and then chose to take the workforce training forklift class that's registered through the state of Florida. They get a 3-year degree and license to operate a forklift.
I didn't realize that. I thought you just here's the ignition, here's the key.
No.
See, I had no clue.
No.
3 years.
You got to be registered.
I see.
And you have to go through an OSHA training class. You have to go through a written test, and then you have to go through an obstacle course.
Do you?
Yes, it's cones and trucks and moving pallets and loading trucks and unloading trucks, and you have to pass that, because if you don't pass it, we can't give them the certificate that they need to tell the state of Florida that they passed.
Okay, so I'm going to interject a question.
Sure.
Do both men and women take these classes?
Yes.
They do.
Some women are a little intimidated by the forklift, but some jump right on it and off they go.
That would be me for sure.
So it's there's a big difference between driving a forklift and operating in a forklift. So, but we teach operating, and we help them get a job. A great success story with one of our guys that he went through the class. We got him in a warehouse here locally in Clearwater, and been there 3 years.
Wow.
And now he is the supervisor.
How about that?
And he will not hire anybody for forklift operating unless they come through our class.
Isn't that something? That's great.
Yeah.
So
it's a good class. We have a great instructor. Drew O'Connell is a great instructor and ex-military. Did small equipment in the military, generators and forklifts and skid steers. So he does a great job.
Okay. So I really, really got off track.
Yeah.
I was supposed to start with some questions that I sent you. Let's back up.
All right.
Can you tell us about the mission and vision of the Florida Dream Center?
Well, the biggest mission and vision of the Florida Dream Center is to have neighbors helping neighbors throughout the community.
Mhm.
That's what when we have a mission statement, we have a vision statement, but the biggest thing is we want the Smiths to help the Jones to help the Jameses or whoever they are in the neighborhood, neighbors helping neighbors.
Wouldn't it be great if the whole world was like that?
Well, we've seen it.
Oh,
I mean,
have.
we know two people in our community right now in Lowman that they don't like each other, but her lawnmower was broke and he was mowing her yard. And then he just looked at her and went back home.
That's actually great.
I mean, but
okay,
neighbors helping neighbors, and that's the same thing with the Florida Dream Center. We're in Lowman. We're a neighborhood community center, even though we serve all of Pinellas County. But we're neighbors. We're a neighbor helping other neighbors throughout.
Okay.
Whether it be in Tarpon Springs or Palm Harbor or Dunedin or St. Pete or Lowman, wherever. I mean, we don't turn anybody away.
That's perfect. So I want to ask you right now about yourself and what inspired you to become involved with the Florida Dream Center and its initiatives.
So quite a few years ago, I got involved with an organization back in the early 2000s, which was to help find missing children.
Oh.
And I was the CEO for that for a while.
Wow.
And found out that they weren't missing. They had been human trafficked.
Oh.
And we had my kids grew up, they moved out of the house, and we sold our house in Valrico. And my wife goes, let's move to the beach. So we moved to the beach. And but we were going to church in Riverview.
Okay.
At the crossings. And that was a drive over there and then drive back. And
That's a long drive.
Got to go to breakfast. You got to go to lunch. You got to do all that. And the whole day was shot.
Yeah.
So we started looking for a church, and my stepsister told me that she knew of a church that was having a Friday night Christmas Eve celebration, and we suggested we should go there. We walked in. Pastor was speaking, and I said, "This is the church we need to be at." So we joined that church.
Are you able to say the name of the church?
It was Pathways back at the time. Now it's Mission Cities.
Okay.
And Pastor Bill Lasasa was the pastor back then. And Bill and I started talking, and I flew out to Los Angeles with him and spent a week out there at the LA Dream Center and learning what they did with the Adopt a Block program and their food bank program and their human trafficking program and all the stuff they had. They were in a 10-story old hospital, Catholic hospital.
Okay.
And I just said, it's just phenomenal. I loved it. Came back, talked to my wife. We prayed about it. And I went in and walked into Pastor Bill and Dr. Calvin Harris and Phil Palm. That was the three guys that started the Florida Dream Center, but they sat at a table like we're sitting here, and they just didn't know what to do. And I said, I want to start the Adopt a Block program. And so I did. And that's when that started. We started November 1st, 2014. We missed 2 Saturdays. One was because of Hurricane Irma, and the other was because of Christmas.
Okay.
So we're very consistent of what we do at the Dream Center, because people are counting on us to get there to give them food, hygiene supplies. You know, you can't get cat food and dog food with food stamps.
I did not know that.
You can't.
I did not know that.
You can't get shampoo.
And,
you can't get laundry.
I know some have pets.
Yes,
they would not be separated from their pets.
And we supply that. We have partners with other organizations that donate food to us, and for cats and dogs and cat litter, and along with other stuff, and we give that back to the community.
That's awesome. And we're going to get into that in a second about the businesses. We will go to an ad break, but we have a lot to get in here. Oh my goodness.
I know, I saw your list.
I know this list is something. But before the ad break, I'm going to ask another trivia question. What percentage of children in Pinellas County live in households below the federal poverty line? And the answer right after this.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
In 1955, the law firm now known as Pernick, Caulfield, Averill, and Noyes made a decision. Instead of taking whatever cases came through their doors, they decided to focus specifically on personal injury. 64 years later, the law firm is one of Clearwater's longest-running personal injury firms. Available 24 hours a day with offices in Clearwater and throughout Tampa Bay, they're ready to put decades of experience to work for you if you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or injured due to someone's negligence or recklessness. If you feel overwhelmed, uncertain, or unsure about your next steps after being involved in an accident or after a loved one sustained serious injuries due to someone else's negligence, call Pernick, Caulfield, Averill, and Noyes at 727-796-8282 or online at usalaw.com. That's 727-796-8282 or online at usalaw.com. Non-attorney spokesman.
Shop the largest selection of Guy Harvey apparel, artwork, and gift items at GuyHarvey.com. From the world-renowned marine wildlife artist, the Guy Harvey online shop features the latest in performance apparel, classic Guy Harvey t-shirts, decor for every room in your home, exquisite ocean-inspired jewelry, and unique gift items, including custom merchandise not available anyplace else. Browse an extensive catalog of original Guy Harvey works of art and a full range of beautiful reproductions. As with all Guy Harvey merchandise, a percentage of sales benefits the ocean conservation, research, and education work of the Guy Harvey Ocean Foundation. The Guy Harvey Ocean Foundation will help ensure that future generations can enjoy and benefit from a well-balanced ocean ecosystem. Bring the undersea world into your everyday life at GuyHarvey.com.
Just about everyone is fascinated by the mafia. Books and movies like The Godfather, Goodfellas, Casino, and many others became bestsellers and box office hits. Did you know that a century ago, mobsters like Al Capone discovered Florida's tropical climate and sparse law enforcement? Mafia bosses from around the nation began setting up illegal operations in Florida. Now, for the first time, a new book titled Sunshine State Mafia, A History of Florida's Mobsters, Hitmen, and Wise Guys, provides vivid stories and never-before-seen images of dangerous criminals who settled in Florida full or part-time. Written by renowned author Doug Kelly, Sunshine State Mafia exposes the hidden history of the mob throughout the state and includes Doug's own brushes with crime figures. Sunshine State Mafia is available at all major book retailers, or obtain a signed copy by calling 727-724-4949 or email sunshinestatemafia@gmail.com.
What do the most successful companies have in common? They leverage growth by forming valuable relationships and partnerships. Amplify Clearwater puts you in touch with accomplished business and community leaders that inspires networking and helps you navigate the best courses of action for your company. Become a member and instantly acquire a powerful edge over your competitors by forming strong connections with top business leaders and elected officials. Amplify Clearwater. One community, one chamber, one vision. Contact us at amplifyclearwater.com or call 727-461-0011. That's amplifyclearwater.com. 727-461-0011.
Discover Clearwater like never before with iloveclearwater.com. Whether you're a resident or a visitor, our website is your go-to source for all things Clearwater. Find the best hotels, restaurants, parks, shopping, and events all in one place. Dive into our engaging photos and videos. Explore over 500 informative articles. Visit iloveclearwater.com today and experience the best of Clearwater. iloveclearwater.com, your ultimate guide to Clearwater for fun, sun, and smiles.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Thanks for listening to the Kelly Show. I'm Kelly, and I'm here with Stephen Cleveland. He's the executive director of the Florida Dream Center in Leelman, but they serve all of Pinellas County. And Stephen, you were here 3 to 5 years ago. And I know there's some new developments since you were last here. Let's hear about those.
Well, we've grown a lot. More staff, serving more people in the community, adding programs and doing more things to, when we knock on doors and we ask people what we can do to help them, a box of food is going to help them so much. Mowing the yard is going to help them so much, but they need to develop and get into doing more things for themselves to better. And, I've got a single daughter. She has 2 kids, my granddaughters. She struggles, and she's a teacher, and she struggles.
Absolutely. A lot of people struggle.
And so,
you don't have to be a single mom to struggle.
And so what we're trying to do is show people how to make a better income, and also help them with money management, and give them a hand. And so a year and a half ago, we changed our logo. It used to say Florida Dream Center, blah, blah, blah. But now it says FLD and then Dream Center. And it's a gentleman, it's 2 figures. One's on the top and one's on the bottom. And we're giving them a hand up. So that's what we want to do.
Give people
We don't want to give you a hand out. We want to give you a hand
Hand
up.
I like that. I love that a lot. So also, Stephen, I want you to share a little inspiring words about yourself, because something happened. What year?
2013.
What is that?
October 28, 2013. That was about the same time they asked me to get on board at the Florida Dream Center. I was diagnosed with stage 4 prostate cancer.
Wow.
And they had to remove my prostate. And I went through 49 radiation treatments.
49
radiation treatments. And then the cancer came back. And I went through a year of chemo. Chemo almost killed me. It was bad. But thank God I had a great hospital that took care of me. Moffitt did a great job. And
were you given a time period in which to live, or? Well,
when the VA first diagnosed it, and they didn't do the surgery because they didn't have a surgeon that could do the surgery, they gave me a year.
A year, and that was in
October 28, a day before my birthday, 2013.
Isn't that amazing? That is a miracle.
So then, after doing the chemo, the cancer came back again, and I had a tumor in my spine.
Oh, wow.
And it was about the size of a nickel. And so they put me on a special treatment as a trial basis, where I took these pills, and they were, instead of chemo, they were pills, and very, very expensive pills. Extremely expensive pills.
Wow. Are we talking thousands?
$2,000 a pill.
$2,000 a pill. Wow.
And I took 2 a day.
Wow.
And but being on a trial study, you had to go through CAT scans and MRIs and bone scans, and every 6 weeks you had to do this and do this. So after 16 months of going through on the pills, and getting my blood drawn every 6 weeks, and every 89 days I get an injection into my stomach to help kill the cancer. The doctor called me and he says, I need to see you in my office. And I made an appointment and went in and saw him. He says, your tumor's gone. It's gone.
It's a miracle.
It disappeared.
It's a miracle. Who do you thank for that?
God.
Absolutely.
Nobody else.
Right. I so believe in the power of prayer.
So now I'm off the pills. I still get the injection every 89 days. I still get my blood drawn every 6 weeks. I am undetectable, but I'm still stage 4 cancer. That's never going to change because it's just the cancer's just floating around in my body, trying to find a place to land. But because of all the stuff I went through, one other thing Moffitt did is they sent me to what are the big red trucks? Blood work.
Yes, One Blood.
One Blood.
Mm-hmm.
They sent me to One Blood. One Blood. Moffitt put a catheter in my jugular, and One Blood. It was a 6-hour treatment. They took the blood out, took the good white cells out, because you have two different types of white cells. They took the good one out. It went into a bag. It got rushed to the Tampa airport and was flown to Atlanta. Atlanta did something to it. It was flown right back, and the next day they put it back into me. I did that 3 times. So, my grandkids asked me, "What are you going to go for Halloween this year, Dad?" Granddaddy, I'm just gonna go and glow in the dark.
That's great. That's something. But Stephen, I'm so glad that was successful for you, and you are an inspiration to other people.
And and I do talk to Rotary groups and churches and men's groups and stuff, because it's so important to follow up. It's really weird because my wife asked me, she said, I don't think we have enough life insurance on you. And I said, okay. So back in October 25th, I had the nurse come to the house and she took blood and they did a test. And my insurance guy called me and said, "I can't insure you. Have you read your report?" I said, "No." And he says, "I don't want to be the bad guy, but you're like a 9.9 on the scale when you're supposed to be a 2.0. And so you need to get to the doctor." And that's how we found out about it.
Oh, wow. Wow. See, that's amazing right there. Yeah. That's a hand of God that you even found that. So how did that affect your work with the Florida Dream Center?
It didn't really affect it. I got yelled at a lot because I wouldn't stop working. When I took my last chemo treatment, on my 5th treatment, my doctor told me, he said, "I don't think I can give you your last treatment because it'll probably kill you." And I had 3rd-degree burns all over my body.
What?
Yes. I'll show you pictures later. Okay. But yeah.
This is from the treatment?
From the treatment. It's called Red Devil.
So is this the pills or the radiation?
No, that was the chemo.
The chemo.
They injected it into you.
Wow.
And so he said, "Go home and talk to your wife and pray about it." And I did. And my wife and he called me the day before and he says, "What are you going to do?" I said, "I'm going to take the treatment." He says, "I'll give it to you." I spent 18 days in intensive care after that. But the entire 18 days, I had to have my laptop.
You were working.
I was working.
No, that's dedication right there.
So, but I have such a great staff at the Florida Dream Center. Mm-hmm. My COO, she's phenomenal, Zelda O'Connell. My assistants and food pantry people and our food bank people and even the first person you see when you walk in the door, mm-hmm. It's just, they're phenomenal.
They are. Yeah. Are they? Well, those are the paid staff.
Yes.
But how about the volunteers?
The volunteers work during the week. They work in the bank. Mm-hmm. They help put the boxes together. They help sort the foods that we get. They work on the weekends. Wow. on Saturday, because Saturdays we go out and mow yards and paint houses and do all that kind of stuff to help people.
Yeah.
We work very closely with code enforcement, mm-hmm. because we found out that they'll knock on your door and say, "Hey, your gutters or your screen or your yard needs to be mowed, and mm-hmm. here's your ticket. You got 30 days to get it fixed." And it could be a widow, it could be a widower, mm-hmm. it could be a single mom, a single dad, and they can't do it. Mm-hmm. They would say, well, and they would kind of fill them out a little bit. And then they would hand them my business card and say, "Call this guy. He could probably help you."
Wow.
And so I'd go take a look at it, or Gary Webb, who worked for me, would go look at it, and we would decide we can adopt that house. We would take care of it, And after we got it all fixed, all the fines went away.
That's amazing. And that's not only in Lealman.
Dunedin, Palm Harbor,
wow.
Tarpon.
Wow. That's amazing. Okay. So how many volunteers do you have? Roughly.
Before COVID, we had about 6,500 volunteers a year. Right now, we have about 4,000 right now.
4,000
after COVID.
Do you need volunteers?
Huh? I need.
Okay. We're gonna patch that through. Hello.
Yeah. Hi. Cal.
Hi.
This is your partner in crime. I just wanted to mention to Steve how inspiring it was to hear his story about his cancer battle.
Mm-hmm.
And
why is that, Doug?
Well, I'm stage 4 also, lung cancer, and I also pray, and other people I hope pray for people like me. I think it does make a difference.
It does.
And by the way, tell Steve that I'm a Gator fan when they aren't playing Miami.
He is a Seminole.
Especially when they play the Seminoles. That's right.
We all make mistakes.
That's okay. His wife is a Gator, right?
Yeah, my wife's a Gator and my daughter's a Gator.
And he's a Seminole.
Great school and great team and whatever. Mm-hmm. But I just wanted to call in and I think your message was very inspiring, what you've gone through, and it's going to help me as I do likewise.
Absolutely. Thank you for your call, Doug.
Okay, bye.
I'm about ready to cry. Sorry about that. I think this is only the second time I've ever cried on the show, but that's okay. We were talking about volunteers at the Dream Center and how you need more.
We need more volunteers. We're a volunteer-based organization, and we use volunteers Tuesday through Saturday. We also do Bright Futures. We're registered with the state of Florida to do Bright Futures for students who need to do their 100 hours.
Yeah.
And we also do 60% of the court-ordered community service that is issued by the guys and the girls, the ladies in the black robes.
Absolutely. Okay.
And they recommend the Florida Dream Center because we're so precise. Paperwork is perfect, and everything we do, they never have a problem with us.
That's great. Yeah, I can relate to that because my son, when he was in his teens, went through that. Mm-hmm. So he had to do stuff like that.
Right.
So I got to pull myself together here. How about donations? Do you need donations?
Well, we started in July, Christmas in July, because we serve about 850 to 900 families. And that's not kids, it's just families. There's 2.5 kids per family that we serve. They get to come to the Dream Center and shop for free. Brand new toys. We don't take any used toys. They have to be brand new.
Really?
Unwrapped.
Okay.
And then the volunteers come down with them, and they go down and they have cocoa and marshmallows and cookies and all that. And we wrap everything. It goes in a black bag.
This is at Christmas time.
This is in, right after Thanksgiving. We start that. And then they get the little ticket that goes with the black bag. And then we have a festival the Saturday before Christmas.
Okay.
Fire truck shows up. Santa's on the fire truck. The whole place is decorated. We got elves running around. We got carolers caroling. We got hamburgers cooking, hot dogs cooking. And Santa gives out the presents, and they get a picture with Santa.
That sounds like something I want to be at.
And then the other thing is we're going to do, if God helps us this year, it's a little tight, but I think it's going to come through because I've already heard a few things that are happening. We feed about 1,300 families with a fresh turkey, all the fixings and the fresh vegetables and everything. And then we have volunteers deliver it to your house.
Is this Thanksgiving or Christmas?
We do Thanksgiving, turkeys. Mm-hmm. If we have turkeys, we'll give those out. But Christmas is the toys. It's the big toys festival. But Thanksgiving, we believe everybody should have a good Thanksgiving and be blessed.
I love it. Okay, so how about monetary donations? Do you need those?
Yes.
Okay.
This rides on my shoulders all the time because I'm, the executive director, the CEO.
Mm-hmm.
But we write grants all the time, and there's more and more people writing grants, and more nonprofits popping up. And you can only go back to the well so many times.
You have to share a lot of resources now.
I mean, we have some great partners. I mean, Feeding Tampa Bay, St. Pete Free Clinic, Duke Energy, Crown Automotive. We've got the Pinellas Community Foundation, St. Pete. I said St. Pete Free Clinic already.
You told me something about Subway and Walmart.
Walmart is where we get food from.
Now, so Walmart, you shop there.
Walmart did give us 3 of their stores did give us a grant last year, which was very nice of them. Yeah. It's just harder and harder to get grants, and you apply for a grant, and you might only get half or a third.
Wow!
So, community people that are sitting around wondering what they want to do or something.
A valuable charity to give to.
Come do a tour. Mm-hmm. Come see what we do.
Okay.
Set up an appointment. Come in and let me be there, and we'll do a tour of the community.
I might do that, Stephen.
We'll do a tour of the facility. Mm-hmm. The best days are Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays because that's the busy days where you see all the worker bees and everything going on, and see what we do.
Yeah.
We also, I forgot to tell you when I talked about the workforce training, we have a T-shirt company.
Oh, that's awesome.
So
you print T-shirts for businesses.
We do T-shirts, embroidery, coffee mugs, hats, backpacks, tote bags. We do all that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
So a little bit of a social enterprise there.
Yeah. So I, before I forget, I already typed in your website on Facebook, but for the listeners, people driving in their car, what is your website and contact info?
So the website is www.floridadreamcenter.org.
That's easy.
Phone number is 727-851-9074.
Okay.
And our address is 4017 56th Avenue North, St. Pete.
Perfect. And I'm just typing that in as well.
And one thing we were lucky enough to do, we were in the old Lillman Fire Station, and there was 300 people that applied for a grant, or roughly 300, but there were 100 people picked that made the allotment. We weren't the number one. We were, I think, 4th or 5th. Mm-hmm. But we were able to get funding to purchase the building.
That's amazing.
So we own our building, and then we got money also to refurbish the building, which we've already started. We put a new roof on. We got another new roof going on, new air conditioning system, one new air conditioning unit going in, and new stucco and painting and a whole, to make it a very, very aesthetic, pleasing to the community that's surrounding us by all the new homes that are going then through AA American and Habitat and other people that are building homes. We want it to look nice.
And it does.
It will. We're not done.
You're not done.
If we can get our permit.
Okay. Anybody hear that? Okay, so we're getting close to the end, but let's see. We discussed partnerships. How has the community of St. Pete or Leoman responded to the work of the Dream Center?
I can answer that 2 ways. One, the reason we stayed in Leoman is because the county wanted us to stay there. Mm-hmm. We were going to move to Pinellas Park, and we had a building picked out, but the county said, what are we going to do with these people? We need you to do it. Mm-hmm. And we need you to stay here. So that's one option. Other people, we get 150 people a day walking through our doors.
Wow.
We get I mean, we're closed on Sundays and Mondays, but I'm up there a lot on Sundays and Mondays, and I got people knocking on the door saying, "Can I get some water?" Or "Can you call the sheriff for me?" I mean, I've been, so
Gotcha.
we're a neighborhood hub.
That's great. I kind of wish we had more of that up here, but you help up here.
We have talked right down the street.
Okay.
We've been talking right down the street.
Okay. You mean the North Greenwood CRA?
Yes, they have.
Oh. So that brings me to my next question. What future plans or what would you like to happen with the Florida Dream Center? Any wish list?
Well, mine, and I'll probably get shot in the morning for saying this, but I want to go to Tampa too.
Okay.
I would like to start a dream center, because the dream center in Tampa, they just help kids. They don't help the community.
I see.
I got a lot of good friends. I grew up in South Tampa. I got a lot of friends over there, and it would be a good fit. But in the meantime, we want to continue serving and spreading our services through Pinellas County, because this is our home.
You reminded me of something. I asked a trivia question before our last break about children. And what percentage of children in Pinellas County live in households below the federal poverty line? And I never gave the answer, and it's approximately 17%. So that's huge.
Well, I do know that 1 out of 5 children go home every night not knowing where they're going to get a meal from.
Wow.
1 out of 5 in
1 out of
Pinellas
5.
County.
Wow, that's sad, but I'm glad there's somebody out there helping them.
We try.
Yeah.
And thank you for Feeding Tampa Bay and St. Pete Free Clinic and our other supporters that help us get the food so that we can get it out to the 32 other smaller pantries that spread the wealth of food to feed the community.
That's so important, because it's getting harder and harder for everybody. Trying to afford rent. I think something like I'm trying to remember the numbers. 50% of people have to pay 30% of their income toward rent, and it's
like you should, if it's right, you should spend 1 week of your 4-week paycheck to pay your rent. But it's not. It's 2 weeks.
It's more than
2
that.
weeks. It's 2 weeks.
And things are just getting worse and worse.
Right.
So once again, Stephen, what is the contact info for the Florida Dream Center for anybody that wishes to donate their time or money or help out?
So the easiest way to do this is to go to our website, www.floridadreamcenter.org, and you can see all our programs, and you can pick out which program you would like to even donate to.
Nice.
And it's through GiveSmart. And you can hit that button. You can do recurring donations. You can do a one-time donation. And it's very easy to do. If you don't have a computer, the address is 4017 56th Avenue North, St. Pete, 33714, and we'll take a check. And if not, come by and see me and just bring me some cash.
Just that's right. Cash is always good, and you can also request an appointment to get a tour.
Tours are great. People see the tour, they don't believe. Even county commissioners, when they did the tour when we first got started, they go, "We're not in Loma. We're not in Florida." Wow. I said, "Yeah, we are." Wow,
that's amazing. So we're winding down. And I want to throw out the Bible verse for the week, Proverbs 11:25. The one who blesses others is abundantly blessed. Those who help others are helped. So that's an appropriate verse.
Is Doug still listening?
I'm quite sure he is. Okay, right to the very end.
I'm fixing it. I have a saying. It's called Unshaken, and it's a Bible verse, and it says, "No matter what evil may come my way, I will be unshaken by the power of God."
I love that. Yeah, I love that a lot. So we have one whole minute left. Cool. Do you have any future thoughts?
We want to keep growing. We want to keep expanding, and we're being very blessed by the faith of the Lord, because he just keeps showing us, no matter what happens, he's going to figure out a way to make this work. And again, I cannot emphasize enough to come see the building, come do a tour. It's eye-opening.
There's a reason you've been been around for the last 11 years, Stephen. You're doing great things. So thank you.
We're trying.
Thanks for listening to the award-winning Kelly Kelly Show on the Tan Talk Radio Network.